Hey guys, today we'll be continuing with our study of the face, looking at the 3/4 view and the face in profile. This video and these upcoming videos is inspired by the Loomis method, so if you haven't seen my previous video on mapping the front view of the face, I highly suggest checking it out. But as always, let's start out with some basic shapes. For every head, all you need to start out with is a circle. As we rotate the head, we have to establish the axes through the center lines. For the purposes of this video, since we're only rotating on the vertical axis, we'll show the effects on the vertical center line, but keep the horizontal axis straight and constant as we keep it at eye level. We'll explore rotation on the horizontal axis in a future video. The vertical center line running through the nose and chin is going to be 1/4 from the diameter of the circle. Then that horizontal center line is the brow line. In drawing the temples, we need to draw the temple plane as a narrow ellipse instead of a wider circle, and then draw the center line on that perpendicular plane. Then we'll establish the front-facing plane with the upside-down triangle. When we're constructing the form, we always want to be thinking three-dimensionally. So here's a face within a cube with the front of the face split into thirds. From the lower third line, we can establish the jaw. Although not the focus of this video, I'll draw in some indications of the neck for reference. The vertical center line is where your ears are going to come from. Since the temple planes are shown more compared to the front view, the ears are also going to be wider. As we rotate from the front view to the 3/4 view, we start to see the edges and ridges progressively extend out from what would be the typical round sphere. The major edges extending out are the brow and cheekbone, with the middle grooving in before the eye. Then you're going to draw the brow structure. The brow structure connects to the nose jutting out. And then, finally, the eyes. The eyes have some slight differences to the front view. The left end of the left eye used to be more pointed at the end of the eyelid, but now as the head turns, the eyeball covers the end of the eyelid on the far side, so the shape is rounded out there. When we draw the mouth, we want to make a slight indication that it extends out from the front of the face slightly. So let's draw a line that indicates the philtrum, that little indentation right below the nose and above the lips. And after some finishing touches, we finally finish the 3/4 view. Moving on to the profile view, here we're bisecting by vertical and horizontal center lines again, but this time the temple plane is what is front and center. Then you're going to make the same hairlines above and nose line below the center brow line. With the head turned sideways, the temple plane is now a more even circle than a narrow ellipse. Next, we're extending that last third down to the chin, so we're just going straight down the front part of the face and then the jaw corners at the nose line, connecting to the bottom chin. After getting those guidelines in, let's get in some features. So the eyes at a side view is very simple. It looks like a greater or less than sign, and then the other end is covered by a semicircle. The two straight lines make up the eyelids that jut out and get covered by the eyeball on the other side. As the head rotates, you start to see the brows and nose increasingly jut out, progressing from the front view to the 3/4 view to the profile. So we should increasingly delineate those edges and ridges. The other part that comes out the front of the face is the lips. In drawing the lips, the upper lip is usually dominant over the bottom when relaxed, but both jut out from the front plane of the face. The end of the lips shouldn't go back further than where the eyes are. Then we'll add in the jaw. Here's the basic outline simplified of everything extending from the front plane. In drawing brows and profile, you can just follow the basic outline of the eye until you hit the temple. Finally, to finish off, we'll draw the ear, starting from the vertical center line of the temple plane, from right below the brow line to the nose line. The ears are close to facing the temple plane, so this is where the ears are going to be the widest. And the profile view is finally complete. Diving into the planes of the face, let's compare the shadows at different light sources as we rotate the face horizontally. From the top left, top right, and from the bottom. Let's do it one more time, but with the face rotated 180 degrees fully. From the top left, the top right, and from the bottom. Using shadows and angles, you can set the mood of the character after learning the basic fundamentals of the face. To wrap up this video, here's some quick tips in drawing the different angles of the face when you rotate it horizontally. First, the eyeball extends out over the eyelid on the other side, so when drawing the 3/4 and profile view, make sure to have rounded ends on where the eyeball covers over, instead of a more pointed indication. Another quick bonus tip is that when drawing the eyes in the 3/4 view, make sure to make the farther eye away from the viewer a little more narrower, while making the eye closer to the viewer a little wider, as perspective foreshortens the surface area of the face on the far side. Second, the brow bone and the cheekbone jut out in the 3/4 view and progressively protrude along with the lips and the nose in the profile view. Third and lastly, the temple plane closely corresponds with the angle of the ear. The ear plane is close to parallel to the temple plane, but is still angled outward slightly. But going from the front view and progressing to the profile view, make the ear wider to show the plane facing more directly to the viewer. With these simple tips, we can rotate heads horizontally easily, so I hope this helps out when drawing your characters from different angles. And with that, we wrap up our video. If you found this content helpful, please consider leaving a thumbs up below and subscribing if you want to watch more content on creating comics and manga. If you want to follow my other social media pages and work, the links are in the description. Finally, if you have any suggestions for future videos you'd like to see, please feel free to comment below. I'll see you guys next time.